There's so many fun and creative power systems that are chock full of depth and nuance, right? Then there's the simpler ones that are just pure vibes too. Regardless of what type of power a series chooses as its conduit of storytelling, it's all fire. In all of these stories though, there are characters who have no powers, just regular people, except they aren't regular. They end up being extraordinary for standing up amongst literal gods and proving that real strength comes from more than just being blessed with crazy awesome supernatural abilities. There truly is something so beautiful about powerless characters making something happen for themselves against literally all odds. No matter what your situation is, no matter how tall the people around you stand, you too can fight. You too can chase your dream. I guess what I'm trying to say is powerless characters are simply goated, dog. Peep game. Alright, first and foremost, I think it's fair to say that the characters I bring up here kind of have to be people that exist in a world full of dudes with superpowers. Somebody like Thorfinn would be a cool example, but aside from genetic demons like Thorkel, nobody in Villain Saga really has powers, right? Unless I'm missing something, but I don't think so. The world of comic books, however, has characters that can literally rearrange entire universes just for the sake of vibes. And the same universe is the most cracked character in fiction and the greatest warrior in all of existence is a man who grew up in a circus and now fights crime in the streets of Bloodhaven and has also proudly saved the universe a few times. Nightwing the GOAT! This dude's superpower is being able to hit the meanest backflip in recorded history. Dick Grayson is hands down Batman's greatest achievement as a human being and the shining light of his entire legacy. He's led all type of teams full of superpowered individuals and they all look to him as their god because he knows how to inspire people and make those crazy quick time event ass decisions. In his eyes, Batman might as well have superpowers because living up to that monumental legacy is a whole lot of pressure that he simply do not want to deal with. And honestly, I truly cannot even blame him. And so he carved out his own path away from his pappy and made a name for himself in his own city. Also, I think it's really cool that he got the name Nightwing from Superman. Powerless characters leading teams full of motherfuckers with crazy abilities is always so cool to me because there clearly has to be a reason why this person is so beloved by these fantastical beings like Obi in Fire Force. He leads a literal force of firebenders and all he got are roided out muscles and an axe sometimes and a big ass shield and this thing. I don't even know what this is, but it looked cool. All he really has is some special tools to keep up and a whole lot of personal training, but he finds a way to make it work either way. This man went head to head with arguably the coldest character in the entire series, Benimaru, and he was kind of hanging with him. If you can't win in a 1v1, you gotta get creative. And this motherfucker got mad creative, bruh. He was throwing smoke bombs, using his big body physique and that shield of doom to keep up with him. Also, shout out Benimaru, but he's the second coldest in the series, not the first. My glorious King Ogun is the real goat of Fire Force, but that's neither here nor there. Also, look how fire this man Obi's full fit is with the armor, dude. Look at that helmet type beat with the cage bars on it. He look like he executes. Hey, speaking of firebenders though, Avatar: The Last Airbender is truly the greatest piece of fiction to ever grace the soil we stand on and the air we breathe, which also makes Sokka one of the greatest examples of how genuinely beautiful it is to have powerless characters stand amongst legends and become one themselves. A lot of Sokka's flaws come from insecurity. He thinks he's doing a good job as a strategist and then boom, something goes horribly wrong. He thinks he can hang with the rest of Team Avatar and then boom, they handle shit quickly and smoothly without him, which is why I absolutely adore the episode Sokka's Master. He's tired of feeling almighty inadequate, so he finds a teacher and learns how to become the world's greatest swordsman. And he just keeps everything up, except not really. He thinks he's been an absolute awful waste of a time of a student, but when it's actually time to test everything he's learned, it turns out he a GOAT. Not because he actually became Hawkeye Mihawk, but because he grew within himself. Now, he ain't win the fight, of course. I mean, this is an actual master of the blade, you feel me? But he proved himself as a capable warrior by trusting in himself and being creative in his own Sokka way. Even after messing up a bunch of times, he's still rewarded for believing in himself, which is genuinely so beautiful. We're literally all going to f up, bruh, but that don't mean you just stop trying entirely, right? That whole concept of not growing outside yourself is the same reason why Gear 5 is such a beautiful transformation on a character writing level for Luffy. But that's a convo for another day. Speaking of One Piece though, I really want to bring up Usopp or Nami in the convo of some goats without powers, but I'm a little iffy on them. Usopp has observation haki, so I don't know if he really counts, and Nami has Zeus, aka the god of AoE, aka a piece of the soul role of one of the physically strongest characters in the whole series. So, you feel me? It's a little tricky. That's the same reason I feel like Tony Stark kind of don't count, but also kind of does, you feel me? Like, yes, he has no powers, but he might as well with the amount of crazy shit this got in his arsenal. But I don't know. At what point does having a really big brain constitute a superpower? Like, I'm pretty sure Tony Stark's brain isn't on some, like, the leader shit. But, like, is Tony Stark really not just as smart as the leader? Like, at what point does having a superpower brain make you feel me? Like, Dr. Vegapunk, that has powers. But, like, also he ate a devil fruit, so it's like, but he was already smart pre-devil fruit, right? So it's like, look, big brain motherfuckers be confusing me. Speaking of big brain motherfuckers, Hello Next got a video on them. Sokka of Doom. Shut your brain. My fault. Sorry. The fan letter did highlight the fact that one of Nami's biggest strengths is how she thrives in the pirate world by being cunning and creative rather than just inhumanly powerful like certain other Straw Hats. For the past few years, Nami has honestly been my favorite Straw Hat, and that's a crazy title to have because look, they're all some goats and it truly does fluctuate. But Nami is just truly the most integral part of this whole low key, heavy on the low key. But the One Piece fan letter in its entirety shows how awe-inspiring it is to live in the One Piece world as a normal person. When you look at a character like Luffy compared to any of the main characters in fan letter, he literally seems larger than life. But everybody in this world has dreams, and when you look at a group of motherfuckers like the Straw Hats, even the most regular everyday people are inspired to chase what they truly passionate about. It's just so cool seeing how the relationship between superpowered characters and powerless characters differs between different series. The fan letter genuinely had me in tears, bro. That was the second most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my entire life, hands down. Hey, bro, wouldn't it be crazy if I just turned into a whole different nigga right now?
Alright, bro, I'm getting straight into it. So first things first, you have Batman. Batman is literally the only regular nigga on the team who has the best hands and the biggest brain. Tell me, how do someone become so over prepared for every situation? He is literally the definition of stay ready so you don't have to get ready. He's him. He fought against what? Darkseid. Literally one of the biggest, strongest niggas in DC ever is a Batman who turned evil. He is like absurdly cracked for a regular human. He knows all types of hands and Jujutsu and all things of that nature, every source of hands, bro. Like, you know what's the biggest question on my mind, bro? Imagine a person with prep time versus a person who constantly adapts. So imagine Batman versus Maharaga. Like, that is a hard thing to beat. I don't think Maharaga can beat Batman. Am I crazy for that? It really depends on the writers, honestly, because I think Batman is that cracked. For a person who have no powers, and do y'all see how every DC Elseworld story, they had to write off Batman because they know he has a way about doing things. He would probably solve the Elseworld problem. Like, I think it was like DC versus vampires. Had to kill that nigga off. Deceased. They had to kill that nigga off. He's absurdly cracked. Next person on this list I got is, look, we're going Saitama. Do you know this entire time he's been a regular human? 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, in a 6.2 mile run every single day? This a regular human? So I can become like this nigga. He's been doing this entire time as a regular nigga. This nigga is universal level. Nigga can beat Goku? I don't know. I can never say that seriously. Look at my goat. It doesn't make sense. He's a regular nigga with abilities. It's not powers. It's not powers. They never said it was powers. This entire time he's on the moon. He's fighting gods. He's doing all these things as a regular nigga. I want y'all to understand that. I remember this nigga was punching a nigga because he was like, "Oh shit, I forgot there's a supermarket sale today." And this nigga has a best friend cyborg. One Punch Man is not serious. It's not. Lastly, obviously, is Rock Lee. I'm gonna keep it a buck. He has hands. Nothing else. No genjutsu, no ninjutsu. He has little hands. Every single fight, he got hold. I'm gonna keep it a buck. He should be top 3. He should have been the one who fought Madara. Sorry, I love Night Guy. Absolutely. Night Guy was a moment no one should ever forget. But let's be honest here. It should have been Pass Under the Torch moment. It should have been Rock Lee. You telling me his prime was during the tuning exams? We can't do this, guys. Bro. He shouldn't be in the same reigns and like leagues as Kiba and Shino. He's Naruto Sasuke level. I know he is. Like, y'all need to stop doing this to Rock Lee. Look how he boxes, how he trains. I know that pray for better days. And yet, all we get is, oh, 8 gates. You peeked at Gaara. Like, sit down and ask yourself the question, like, Kishimoto, Why? He has some of the greatest hands in fiction. And he said, nah, but you supporting cast, remember? You don't have a main character role here. The character show is named Naruto. If you're on his team, so you're blessed. But if you're a supporting cast, GG's. Actually, that's not even true. If you're not an Uchiha, if you're not a Jinchuriki, if you're not the son of a friend, you're cooked. It doesn't make sense. I'm out, bro. Peace.
Yo, it's almost like I turned into a whole different for a sec, but I'm still me though. Being powerless in Jujutsu Kaisen is especially crazy. Maki Zenin exists in the same world as the certified strongest himself, Satoru Gojo, and still she finds a way to make it work. Shout out Maki, but a lot of the things I'd like to say come from spoilers, so like I don't even have the full context. Shout out JJK's community for being just the most spoilery ass niggas in the whole universe. I'm low-key glad your series is over. I didn't mean to let that level of hatred out. I don't even hate y'all niggas for real. I just be sad when I open the timeline and it's just a whole bunch of spoilers, but I'm free now. But being powerless in Dragon Ball is truly a whole different story. And characters like Krillin, Yamcha, and Tien simply do not count, bruh. Every single one of those motherfuckers could destroy a planet if they really tried. Hercule Saiyan, on the other hand, is completely different. He truly is the highest a human being can go before learning ki control, and at that point, you just have powers now. Like, bro, niggas is using ki control to fly. What? I'm sorry, Videl, you have powers now. Mr. Satan is a fraud to us, cause he be hanging out with some of the most powerful dudes in all of existence. But to the everyday person, he's probably around peak human condition. He did win the world tournament off screen. Now, granted, I'm pretty sure in the Boo Saga, they explained that, like, since winning the tournament, like, literally 7 years prior, he, like, kind of stopped really giving a fuck about fighting, and he really just started abusing the clout, you feel me, the manyan that came with being a champion. According to Videl, I'm pretty sure losing his wife also had something to do with that. I'm deep in my Dragon Ball memory bag right now. She like had a whole rant to Gohan about it. But even though he's ass and can't do anything against the motherfuckers that matter, he still finds a way to impact the story. Through the power of words and influence, he basically saved the universe against Majin Buu. That was something literally only he could do in that situation. Not having superpowers in a world full of extraordinary dudes sound like some ass at first. But seeing how these characters make it work is just such a beautiful thing to take home with you. I still think Naruto should have been about Rock Lee, but let me stop. Let me chill. Hey, one final honorable mention. Look, I'm a fighting game nigga at heart. I gotta let this one rock. Sean Matsuda, my GOAT, the greatest fighting game character of all time, is truly the greatest example of this whole video, bruh. Look, he was literally brought into this whole franchise of Street Fighter as a gag character. His whole gimmick is being ass, and yet still he finds a way to stand back up. He gets back up every time. Why do we fall? So we get back up. He get back up every time until the point where he finally became the champion, bro. He finally got himself a little chip, and it was off screen in a game that he wasn't even in. But let me chill. Capcom, please, bro. Shout out Sean Matsuda, the GOAT, bro. Rejected by the whole world, rejected by the niggas that made him, rejected by Capcom, but look, still found a way, and that's why I truly believe he has a spot in Street Fighter 6. It's in his nature to never give up. Also, shout out to homie Leesdreams once again for the collab, you know what I'm saying? Yo, family. Check out all his things in the description below. But yeah, shout out powerless characters, and shout out you. Wait, hold on. I can't
feel my face right now. I'm burning up. I got this feeling that I won't come down. Like, got this feeling that I won't